Hello everyone, it's Chrissy here from the Creative Eclectic. Happy Tuesday night. Hope everyone's having a fabulous week so far. And you're ready for some exciting crafting. Well, I don't know if it's exciting, but it's exciting to me. It's sort of like going to be like mystery stamping, but not really, because it's only a mystery to me. All right, let's see who we've got watching us tonight. Only got me watching us tonight. Anyway, so tonight we have got a couple of things to look at. That glare's pretty bad. Let me see if I can fix that. Hi Glenda, thank you for watching. I don't know why the glare is so bad tonight. Okay, hopefully this won't be too glary. I'll just do a little bit of a light adjustment. Let's see if I can get a little less glare on my backdrop. That might be a bit better. Yeah. Alright, hi Megan, hi Sue. Oh, everyone's here tonight. Well, almost everyone. Okay, so tonight I was trying to work out at lunchtime actually what we were doing tonight, and Jody suggested that I do something with one of the papers from the mini catalogues, so I am going to do that, but I'm going to use a new to me stamp set. I've never inked the stamp set up before. So it's it's on page 29 of the mini catalogue, and it's the Joy of Noel bundle and the Christmas Classics bundle, but we're not using that paper. All right. So, but we are using some designer series paper. So, let me turn the page and show you how lovely these stamps are. So just look at that. Aren't they beautiful? They're so nice. Now, I apologise for my wrecked nails. I picked up a shoe yesterday and my nail fell off. Oh, hi Vicky, are you watching too? Ah, goodness me, I didn't see you there. Oh, everyone's here. And hi Jody. Oh, so that finger is, that piece of duct tape with the flamingo in it is holding my nail on, because my other nail on, because it got caught in my hair. So yes, Megan, that's what is happening. So it's a piece of duct, sort of like duct tape. All right, so yeah, my nails have not had a good week, and it's only Tuesday. So the paper we're using tonight is this Shining Brightly paper, and I wanted to show you, it was from Aldi, Jody. I wanted to show you how to use this paper with something different, with other colours, not just what it's sold with, and how you can step it up a little bit. So, oh, is that out of stock in the UK, Sue? I'm sorry to hear that. I might have to send you some. I could get it. No, I won't get to where you are at the moment in time for you to take it home. Okay, now let's see what we've got here. So we're going to start with, I've got a couple of projects to do, but I thought I'd start with the most unlikely project for you. And I'm using the Pretty Peacock, and I don't know what happened to my grid paper. I had a whole book up here. Oh, I've got one piece. Okay, I had a whole book up here, and Steve's rearranged the office a little bit. So we still live, yeah. Yes, well, we do have grid paper. I just couldn't find it, Megan. All right, but we do need grid paper. So we've got some Pretty Peacock ink. I'm hoping my internet hasn't dropped out. It's been dropping out all day. Let me just see if it's still going. Oh, yes, it looks like it's still going. All right. So, not quite sure what's going on here. And now I can't see any comments. All right. So if I'm not answering your comments, it's only because I can't see them. All right, let's just straighten that up a little bit at the bottom. See if that works. All right. We've got some Pretty Peacock ink. I've got a plethora of ribbons. So I do have the ribbon that the paper came with. I've got some gold ribbon, and I've got my blending brush. So we'll start with the first two cards because they're very similar, and then we'll see how we go for time. And I discovered, because I ran out of little plastic bags, I discovered that because I take all my my dyes out of my out of these plastic bags, that I thought, well, you can use them for preparing your cards. So I've got one. Let's see where the other one is. I'm sure we'll put that one aside. First, we're going to start with this one. So I thought that was a little bit of a handy tip because I was wondering what to do with them. But they're really great when you're prepping. So if you were going to a retreat, and hi Glenda, yes, if you were going to a retreat, I'm hoping this is still working. Not a fan of technology today. It looks like it's working. Yeah. All right. It keeps cutting out on me. We've had internet issues all day, but we'll see how we go. And hopefully you're all still here. All right. So this paper is from that beautiful paper that we, the Shining Brightly specialty paper. And so I've got my card base, which is the Pretty Peacock. I've got a piece of Very Vanilla for the inside. And I've die cut some pieces as well. Now I'll show you, I'll grab the stamp and the dies so I can show you. So I've got everything almost ready to go. So this is the Christmas Classics stamp set. So this is part of that suite. And there is so many dies in this. So many. So you've got, this one is one we'll be using. And I didn't think you wanted to watch me die cut. So if you did want to watch me die cut, I'm really sorry. I can do that in our Big Shot, oh sorry, not Big Shot, die cutting machine masterclass, which is launching in the next week. It's an online class, and that's providing technology goes according to plan, and it's going to be lots of fun. So we will cover all sorts of things, everything that you can possibly think to do with your die cutting machine, it will be covered. All right, so we are going to use our I'm using my Stamparatus today, and I know that it's retired, but a lot of people still have them, and my hands are a bit shaky today, so I need to use something that or do some stamp with something and know it's going to be successful, right? Does that make sense? All right. I think we've still got everybody here. I can't see any comments, so let's see if I can reboot those. Yeah, all right. Let's see how we go here. All right, so I'm going to, first of all, I've already die cut my sentiment. So the first card's going to be pretty easy. The hardest part was the die cutting, and you can see I've done all of that so that you don't get bored. What I'm going to do first up is stamp my Christmas stamp. Now, has anyone got this stamp set? I think it's so pretty. Oh, I've got lots of things to tell you about. So tomorrow is coffee, cake and cards. Yeah, well, Jodie, I agree with you. I think if you have a Stamparatus, you should use it. Some people get a bit afraid to use it, but there are other stamping platforms or stamp positioning tools that people use. So I'm in the process of reviewing a few to work out what might be a suitable one as a replacement for people who don't yet have a Stamparatus. Or a Misty tool or something like that. But for me, the Stamparatus is the best thing since sliced bread. Almost. Not that I eat bread, but and you know what? I didn't even stamp that. That shows what sort of day I had. So I've already die cut my piece. Oh God. So I stamped it and I cleaned it. That's how conditioned I am to making sure my stamps are clean after I use them. How funny is that? All right. So I'm going to stamp the Christmas. I'm not worrying about my magnets today. Now I've got a deluxe mat under mine, so I've got my piece of foam underneath. So that worked out perfectly. If I wanted it a little bit darker, I could do that. Oh, I did. I'll just wipe. Now I'm going to clean my ink off my stamp. Okay. So how is everybody? How are you, Glenda L and Glenda S? Well, actually, Glenda S, I already know how you are because I've spoken to you today. I'm going to put Christmas wishes on this one. It might be a little bit wonky. And it's sticking to my finger. So I'm going to take my pick tool and just move it to where I want it to be. That looks about straight. Okay. Now usually when I first get my stamp with this photopolymer stamps, I would just sit it on the ink pad. Just for a little while, just to make sure that it's super absorbent, but I'm using sentiment stamps, so I tend not to do that with the sentiment stamps. So this is our first little bit of stamping done. I think while we're here, oh no, we'll just move that out of the way. We'll do our first card and then we'll come back and do the stamping for the second card. Okay, we'll just gently prise that off by paper. Move that out of the way. You should see my dining table today. Oh, you're great. And Megan, are you good? And Vicky, are you good? I know, Vicky, I've messaged you lots today, but I don't actually. And Sue, are you well? I actually didn't ask you today, Vicky, how you are. So sorry about that. Such a slack friend. Oh. All right. So I've got my my die cut. I'm going to use some dimensionals and just raise that up. Nice. And Megan, you'll be happy to know I'm using lots of dimensionals. Yes, Jodie, it is super clean. Unlike my dining table, Steve only just got home at, well, it's only just after 7 here, so he got home at 10 to 7 because he was working in the city today and he wasn't in a good mood. But look what he bought me. I'll have to show you. He bought me my little cup of coffee upstairs. How good is that? Because he knows that I haven't had a cup of coffee since breakfast time. And he's just really thoughtful like that. All right, one thing I want to do is I forgot to stamp something on the inside. So, I only have all my blocks are in a big box next to the sink, hoping that the cleaning fairies will wash them, but I don't like my chances. So if any cleaning fairies are out there, please come and wash my my blocks, because they are all super dirty from classes and I want them to be nice and clean before I go to coffee, cake and cards tomorrow. So that leads me to our updates. So has everyone seen? He is a good man, and yes, he is a keeper. We're just about to celebrate our, well, we've got about 6 months till we celebrate our 20th wedding anniversary, which happens to be my parents' 65th wedding anniversary on the same day. So how cool is that? So, and everyone said, oh, did you get married on the same day as your parents? Because, you know, you wanted to be, share that day with them, but that's not the case. We actually got married that day so that Steve would remember that our wedding anniversary was the 4th of the 4th, 2004. So, and our ceremony finished at 4 o'clock. So that's, yeah, we had it all timed so that it would be, he would remember that. He can never forget that. You need your broomstick to fly over, Jodie. No, a month too late, Jodie. The 4th of the 4th is April the 4th. So yeah, and we were a bit disappointed it wasn't my parents' 44th wedding anniversary. That would have been a bit freaky, but we did try. Anyway, all right, so we've got our stamping done. I'm just going to attach my very vanilla into the inside of my pretty peacock card. Yeah, and yes, I know, Megan, I need a piercing mat, so I'm going to use the mat out of my blocks container. Right, so I've told you about coffee, cake and cards tomorrow. Has everyone seen the fabulous free shipping deal? So if you're a customer of mine, not only do you get the free shipping on all your orders over $65, you also get your entry on our $50 board. So for every $50 you spend, you will get one entry onto the board, and there's 50 spots on the board, and when the board's full, or the 30th of September, whichever comes first, we draw out the names and you get a $50 voucher to spend with me. So this is it. So if you just spent your $65 to get your free shipping, you'd get one entry. If you spent $100, Vicky, you got married on your mum's birthday because it was Easter Saturday and a long weekend. Wow. Our friends got married on grand final Saturday. So they got married and then everybody watched the grand final. Because it was a long weekend in Melbourne. Oh, Sue and Jodie both celebrated their 35th wedding anniversaries this year. Oh, wow. I don't know that Steve's going to survive with me with our 35th anniversary. Yeah. Anyway, so I've got these die cut pieces. Where did I put a piece? Uh-oh. Don't you hate it when you keep losing things? Oh, I can see it now. It's a bit like a pantomime, you know, and you go, it's behind you. I don't know that everybody has seen that. I've cut out extra pieces because I don't know if I'm going to use them on this one. I might just use them on the other one. I think it needed a little bit of Lost Lagoon on it. Okay, and it also needs a bit of ribbon. I've got some more ribbon here. Now this is the satin edged ribbon and it's vanilla. Now you can colour this. I'm not going to colour it for this one. What I do want to do is pop some of my Seal Plus, my seal on the back here. And I just want to do, I don't know if you can see that, a couple of little loops of ribbon. I don't want to do a bow because, well, I don't know that I could do a bow today. Okay. The other thing I had to tell you about was my scissors need sharp cleaning. No, that wasn't what I needed to tell you. Is that about the joining special. Now, I have got some pretty big goals this year because this is my 15th year as a Stampin' Up demonstrator. So I've got some things that I'd like to achieve, and one of them is I'd like to, for Stampin' Up to be well, for this to be my best Stampin' Up year ever. And I thought, well, I might as well dream really big. And so I would work towards the incentive trip. And so my friend Shani told me that I have to share with you that that's my big scary goal. And I've talked about it before, but I actually have never worked towards it properly, and I've started this Stampin' Up year with a bit of a bang, really, and I am working towards it. So any support that you are able to give me, whether that be through placing orders or attending classes that have product, or whether they're online classes, or hosting a party for me, whether that be in person or online, I would greatly appreciate that. And to help people who want to host a party in person, so this is for Brisbane and surrounding areas, I've got 12 party in a bag. So everything you need to host a party is in a little bag. And also it's got some Tim Tams, because every good party needs a Tim Tam. It's got tea and coffee, some invitations, like written invitations for your friend. It's also got how's that looking? It's got tea, coffee, biscuits. If you don't like Tim Tams, well, we can organise some other biscuits. All right. It's also got some, what are those things? All the information, your checklist about your party, and I can come and set it up for you. All you have to do is, well, you don't have to, but all I'd like for people to do is to grab a few friends and craft together. The only thing that I won't supply is wine, and if you want your friends to have wine at your Stampin' Up party, that's great. So I have got 12, I can't remember. I think I've only actually got 10 of these bags. So if anyone is interested in having a party let me know. It's a really great night. I had so much fun when I have parties. I need to just move that a little bit. I'm going to move this one down a little bit. So I'm not really telling you how I'm putting this card together. So there we go. So that's our first card. I haven't put bling on it yet, and that's deliberate because there's a lot of shimmer on here. There's also some bits where I haven't taken out the die cutting. So that's our first card. So let's see about stepping that card up a little bit. Right, hi Carol. You reckon everyone loves Tim Tams? I do too, Glenda, but I can't eat them. Thank you. So let's just step that up and make it a little bit more fun. So we're going to use the same paper for the card base. I've got my Pretty Peacock ink. So we're going to start, and I've got my blending brush. And we're going to colour this background because the foil is like a foil resist sort of thing. So you could do it just in plain Pretty Peacock like I'm doing, or if you had what's that colour? Lost Lagoon. You could use some Lost Lagoon and make it like a variegated colour. But I just wanted to show you how the same paper, you can use it in a different way. Because in my mind, it's that first card is very, very cream. And as for you'd add red bling, I mean, of course you'd add bling, Jodie. Well, I couldn't find the bling, so that's why we're not having bling. That's really, if I'm being totally honest there, I'm not worried about that piece in the middle because that is going to be covered up. Now, remember before I die cut this piece. So I've die cut this piece here, and this is a copper oxide paper from the mini catalogue, and even though it's copper, I think it still works really well. When you're doing this blending on a foil paper, just grab a tissue or something like that, something dry, don't grab a wet one, and just wipe it over. I've got a little rag here that I'm going to use. You're just going to wipe it over, and it's, well, you can even use your dress, like if you don't have a rag, all right, and it'll just make it a bit more, it'll just wipe the ink off the shiny bits, okay? So I think I'm turning into like Shelley from Stamping Up. Remember I went to a convention once and she couldn't find, like, didn't have any stamp cleaner. So she licked the stamp and wiped it on the tablecloth, and that always stuck with me, that was hilarious. There's nothing wrong with cream, I just think it's too cream. Cream isn't a colour that I would use a lot, Megan. Excuse me, but I am using it tonight, so I used to make a lot of vintage cards, and so I used a lot of cream and vintage scrapbooks, but now I don't do that so much. I like to sort of mix things up a bit, and I like to use white more than cream. But for a long time they didn't have, Stamping Up didn't have really vintagey, well, the style of vintage stamps that I liked, and so I had to change my stamping style. So that's how my business name came about, because I had to be a bit more eclectic than I was before. I was very much shabby chic and distressed things, and yes. All right, so I'm just going to keep stamping here in the Pretty Peacock. You remember that? No, it was before on stage. It was an in-person event, Megan. And she made a habit of it. I think it was like my first event, so it would have been in like 2010. And yeah, it was just hilarious. And yeah, I thought, yeah, if Shelley can do that, I can do that too. And I must say that stamps don't taste very good when you lick them. Just so you know. You love shabby chic. I do too. I don't like our house isn't shabby chic. It's very, probably very modern. But we have like touches of metallics and that sort of thing, and pretty things. So it's probably not what people expect. and like I don't dress very whimsically either. I'm pretty conservative, so sorry, I have to help, as well as my fingernail about to fall off. It's my finger's really sore as well, so that's why I'm holding it out the way. So if I look awkward, I'm sorry. I should have put my magnets down. I'll do that for the next one, hey? Now, look, I gotta look at all this. I hadn't stamped before I came upstairs. So, yeah, I got ink everywhere. Oh, you remember it too, Sue? She must have done it like a billion times. It must just be a thing now. But it's pretty cool. It might have been a Gold Coast one she did it at. I don't remember. But it was in person. And yeah, they had to bring her a glass of water because it didn't taste very well. But very good. All right, let's put this one together. I'm going to make this one a little bit different to the other one. In that I'm going to wrap a bit of ribbon around it. And have the ribbon going across my page. That's one of them. Right. Let's see. Okay. Gotta wrap the ribbon around before I forget. So I want it around about halfway down the page. I've got a friend who knows that I do Facebook Lives every Tuesday night. And so they deliberately message me during Facebook Lives. And so it pops up when I'm using, because I'm not looking at the comments on my iPad tonight. I'm looking at them on the laptop. So it pops up. The messages keep popping up. I'm like, oh, it's so frustrating. And they do it deliberately because they're such stirrers. But anyway, so we talked about the coffee cake and cards. We've talked about the joy, that I'm working towards incentive trip. We've talked about the, what's that thing? The free shipping that ends tomorrow night. Oh no. Oh, well. I'll replace this later with one that doesn't have an ink booger on it. And we'll talk about, so yeah, let's talk about the joining special. So part of the way that demonstrators can earn incentive trip is they can build a team or they can do it on sales. Most people do a combination because it's really hard to sell $60,000 worth of stamps in a year. And you only have a year to do it. You can't carry over your previous sales or anything like that. So they build their team and help their team promote and that. So that's one of the things that Stampin' Up is doing this month for their 35th year, is they're giving people 35% off the price of a starter kit. So the starter kit is instead of getting $235 worth of product for $169. Sorry, this is Australian prices. It's less than that. It's $109, I believe. And then the other option that they have, which is even better, is you still pay the $169, but you get 35% more. So it's $300 and something worth of product for $169. And that includes free shipping, so you don't have to worry about the free shipping deal. And that deal lasts for the whole month. So if there are things that you want to buy, like say for example, you want to buy a mini embossing machine or a, oh hi Judy, thanks for joining us. Okay, so if you wanted to order a mini embossing machine, or if you wanted to order a whole heap of Christmas stuff, or perhaps you want to buy a whole heap of kits for Christmas. Maybe that's your thing. Maybe you're giving everybody that you know kits for Christmas. They're a great gift. You could sign up and you aren't pressured to put in any other orders. If you wanted to stay a demonstrator, you can. If you don't, well then that's okay too. You just, in about 6 months' time, you would just drop as a demonstrator. You just don't have to even place another order between now and the end of April if you don't want to. So it's a really good deal. And it's a really great way, especially for people who are starting out with stamping, to buy their supplies. And also, if you've been stamping for a while and you've got a big wish list, say for example you want a whole heap of stuff for Christmas, and your family's buying it for you, or for your birthday, you could get them to pay for your starter kit, which either the $169 or the $109 one, and you could build your collection that way. And the other thing, if you join during this month, you get a free event, which is on stage at home. So it's a virtual event and you can watch it from anywhere in the world. I'll be watching it from overseas because it's the day before we come back from our holiday, and I'm not telling you where we're going because I've got some things planned for that week. Some surprises planned. So, all right. So here we go. I've just been chatting away while I've been sticking all those layers on. And just ignore that big ink booger. Every time I say that, I think of Lynn Blender, because she taught me that. I think it's such a great expression. So that's our second card. So they're, oh, it's not very straight. I don't think it needs any other ribbon on it. Oops, let's straighten it up a bit without tearing stuff. It doesn't actually need to be straight, but that just messes with my OCD. If it's not, here we go, that's a bit straighter, I think. So it's almost the same materials. We've just added a bit more foliage on that one. Which one do we like better? Oh, wedding anniversaries. Yeah. Oh, Shauna, your husband can't forget. Although lots of people forget Remembrance Day. I've seen lots of people freak out over Remembrance Day because they're international travellers and they come and everyone stops for the the minute of silence and the last post and all of that, and they don't know quite what to do. You love both. Jodie loves a second. Carol loves a second. All right, let's do. That one took a little bit longer than I expected, but let's do another one. So this is the other stamp set in the bundle, in the suite, and it has. Let me show you. So this is surprisingly this stamp die isn't with the one that you would expect it to be with. So I've die cut this, and there's a little inside one. Now the reason I die cut that early, apart from saving you boredom, is because I wanted to see how it cut. So there's a trick with this. So when you are cutting with that die, you put it so the die is face down on your platform. You take it through once, then you hold it really firm, pick it up, hold it firmly, flip it over and bring it back the other way. All right, that makes it cut better. See, I didn't do that with this one, so they've got a little bit here that's a bit dodgy, but that's okay. All right, so the stamps that we're using is the Joy of Noel, and again it's a photopolymer stamp set. I'm going to use our stamping platform again, stamp positioning tool, Stamparatus, whatever you want to call it. And this is a nice, simple card. All right. Grab my magnets and just flip this over in case there's some wayward ink, and I'll flip that over as well. All right, I'm going to line up my Noel, and I'm putting it in the center. You don't want to put your stamps too close to the edge because it makes them, you don't get the best stamping experience out of that. So the other thing that's coming up is for those people who bought their Stamparatus from me, they received as part of their gift of buying the Stamparatus, they received a about 4 hours of videos that are all different techniques. So I've been asked to by a few people who want to buy those techniques, so I'm offering that class for sale at the end of October. So I've got lots of online classes coming, and so they're not online as in you have to buy the materials from me and then make it. Like, these are just the video classes only. Okay, so let's just, I'm gonna put a bit of adhesive on the back of that, and I think I'll put that on. So this die has got a little edge around it, okay? So make sure it's like a little beveled edge. So make sure you have that the right way up. So you could use any stamp with this, but I'm using the Noel because I thought that would be pretty cute. I'm just gonna So Cherry Cobbler and Pretty Peacock are my two worst enemies. Are you stepped away from the phone and your little... Oh, yeah, that's all right. It's okay, you step. I hope they were good emojis. I missed them. You like the blended one? Oh, that's good. Okay. So I've got lots of things coming up. I'm going to make sure that this is in the right. So normally what I would do is I'd actually keep the negative and put my negative down, stamp in the negative, and then I know exactly where to place my ink. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's my Noel. So it's a very juicy ink pad. So it looks actually really pretty when you, what's the word? When you heat emboss that in gold, I think that would be stunning. I'll close my Cherry Cobbler ink pad because we don't need it everywhere. What story did you read tonight, Vicky? I know it was story time tonight. All right, so I've got my stamping blends, and I've got this really pretty ribbon that we used before, the satin edge ribbon. I don't want a cream ribbon this time. How about we stick this on here? I want, actually we stick it on with Dimensionals. No story, just to chat with him. Oh, he's most talkative before bed. Well, that's really good. Yeah, it's not too bad, Judy. Judy, it's just more annoying, and I'm trying to save my fingernail as well. I actually have a big scar down this side of my finger where I nearly cut it. Well, I was carving soap because when you're in Girl Guides, that's what you do, is you do all sorts of things, especially when your mum's a leader and she makes you do all sorts of things. My siblings never used to have to do everything for guides, but I did. And anyway, so I cut my finger, and so the nerves are funny in it as well, but it's really the fingernail that we're worried about today. So we're going to colour a bit of ribbon. So what I'm going to do, so I know the right amount of ribbon, I'm just going to wrap it around and tie a fake bow. And I'll do a real bow in a second. Yeah, just so I get an approximate amount. And your scissors don't work real well when they've got glue all over them. Oh, you were in guides too. Huh. Yeah, it was really good. Like, I was in guides and ranges, and I was a brownie leader and all of that. And my mum was a district leader, and but you got forced to do a lot of things. All right, so we're going to use our Shaded Spruce stamping blend, and I'm going to use the dark one, and I'll use the brush end actually. So when you're using your stamping blends, make sure that my brush end is really, it's had a lot of hard work. But make sure you, oh, that's the other thing I've got coming up. I've got the Blends Club that's starting in in January is coming up. We've got, if you haven't booked in for our crafty retreat, a Christmas card retreat, the in-person one. Vicky and I have got that happening on the 18th of November. It's a full day event, so we've got a couple of places left, not many. And Vicky, when does the registrations for that close? Is that Sunday, or are we holding them open till the end of the month? I can't remember. But it's it's early bird has finished, so it's now $155. But you get over $100 worth of product or goodies. You get a stamp set, you get a beautiful lunch. Oh, lunch is so good. Someone told me that was the best part of the whole day. I was a bit worried about that, but anyway. Okay, so next week we might talk about different ways to colour ribbon, I think. Because you always see Sunday the 15th is when our registrations close, so that's in a few days' time. And the other thing Vicky and I have coming up is our Craft for a Cause, which is the first, oh goodness, it's in December. It's been a really long day. Tuesdays are always a really long day in our house. Anyway, it's in December. It's a Friday night, and so you make, it's $15. No, is that right? 8th of December, thank you. I'm glad Vicky's on here tonight because I'm struggling. Anyway, and you make 4 cards. You get to keep 2, and 2 get donated to the hampers that are being given out by the church, who have kindly donated the hall for us as well. So it's going to be a really good event. So you get to keep 2, 2 get donated, and we just have a good night and have some fun. And we're also collecting, well, I'm collecting cards at the moment for 2 things. One is to go in the Christmas hampers that are being distributed to the people in our community. The other is for Letters of Hope. So Letters of Hope, we've donated a lot of cards to them over the years, and they are, it's a mental health charity, and they're all about connecting people and eradicating loneliness, which fits very much in with the CEO of Stampin' Up's ethos about that's what she wants to do, is eradicate loneliness. Oh, it's $10. Thank you, Vicky. Yeah, so so they're very good causes. So with the Letters of Hope, they do things like they send letters to people and cards to people who request them, and also they do things like they'll leave a card on a park bench for someone, or they'll see someone who's having a really bad day and they'll give them a card and say, you've got this, it's not as bad as you think. And there are people that they have, and it's very similar to, there's a similar program to that in the UK called A Million Lovely Letters. And it does make a difference. And there are people who have said, well, I was going to commit suicide today, and I found this letter from, or they leave it at cafes and stuff like that, and they find these letters and they go, I felt like someone cared and I didn't take those drastic steps today, and I think that's such a beautiful thing. So that's one of the reasons that I support them. And Abby, the CEO of the Letters of Hope. She suffers from her own mental health issues, and she's very open about sharing those. And I think she's very, very brave. But I don't know that I would be quite as brave as she is. So I'm collecting cards for them. They're not Christmas cards. They're more like, well, you've got this, you matter, thinking of you, just a note to say hello, those sort of cards. Not birthday cards, just fairly generic. Letters of Hope is located on the Gold Coast. But they send letters all over Australia. All right, so we need some bling on this card, I think. If I can find it. Nope, still can't find it. Oh, here it is. Ah. Lucky I could find it. So this bling is the loose hollies, gems and sequins. Do you like this one? Yeah. So, and this week is, I think that we should make it World Card Sending Week, because last Saturday was World Card Making Day, and I don't know about you, but I have a big stash of cards that I don't send. So I gave to my husband this morning 30 cards to post for me. So hopefully he remembered to do that, because he had to walk past the post office to get to his office. So I'm hoping he did that. All right. Got a bit of glue there. Let's put a little Noel. Now I'm putting these on with glue. I probably should put them on with glue dots. That might be easier. Let's try that. Yeah. Yes, Jodie, I knew you would be happy. You're never happy unless I put bling on a card. Yeah. So, has anyone else sent cards this week? Or given a card? I've got 3 special cards to make this week. Choose one for a good friend, and I've had to start thinking about making my mum's 85th birthday card, because I want it to be spectacular. And I've still got a month to make that, but I have started thinking about it because it's a pretty special event. We're going to use, I'll put a little bit of glue up here. Oh, how about I use my silicone craft mat? Oh, that's impressive. I've got a silicone craft mat up here. Don't have anything else, but all right. So make and I think it needs a couple more little embellishments. Cover up that little ink booger there. And we'll get the other ink booger. So I just put a little bit of glue on my I don't know where I'm going to put that. I put a bit of glue on my silicone craft mat, and I have just dipped my embellishments into it. I'm just putting a glue dot on. Of course it's going to go in the wrong place. And I'll just put another leaf on. And that's probably not the right place to put it. But there's a bit of an ink booger there, so I want to cover it up. there we go. There we go. That's a little, not completely happy with the embellishment placement, but it's better than nothing. So there we go. So we've got coloured ribbon. If you wanted to make that darker, just put a few more coats of the colour on, but they are all in the same sort of tones. So that's our second card, but we haven't put anything on the inside, so let's quickly do that. And we're just keeping the inside fairly plain, so they've got plenty of room to write. I'm not even going to stamp it. So I think that, oh, you're getting your card boxes to give out to teachers, Vicky. That's really good. Glenda's, Carol sent something to her sister in Melbourne. Carol, is your birthday next week, or did I miss it? I hope I didn't miss it. Jody, you've got thousands here. Well, you're not far from the Letters of Hope. Go and donate some to them. They would love them. They're always, because it's not for profit organisation, it's a charity, and they and it's a recognised charity, and they always need things, and they do need Christmas cards, but yeah, I've got an old vintage suitcase full of my cards. So that's my third card. Do we want one more? I have got enough. I've got something prepped to do one more if you want me to do that, or we can tide them over till next week. So you tell me what you would like. So we've made 3. If we tide them over till next week, I can make 3 next week. I've actually got 3 prepared. Jodie says, why not? Well, people might want to go to bed. It is after 8 o'clock. Now Jodie's going good night, but she's got heaps to do, so... Not Jodie, Judy. Sorry, I can't read. Why don't we keep them till next week? And then, and next week we'll do the Night of Navy. Yep. All right, so we'll do Night of Navy ones next week. Thank you very much. I hope you liked them. And remember for those who live local, to register for our retreat. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you to Sue and for joining us from Thailand, and thank you for Jodie from South Australia, and Glenda from wherever you're travelling to, and the other Glenda from Yapoons. We've got everyone from everywhere. So thanks everyone, have a great night, and until next time, happy creating. Bye for now.